But we really need to get these fish sorted because we've got one over there, got two down there, and we haven't got another net now, so... Well, I've just caught the absolute monster of the deep. Oh, Hugh's in, is our alarming on?
Oh yeah. Oh, there we go, that didn't take very long then. I've literally just put the spod rod down.
Good in that net.
Oh, blimey.
Welcome to a new video. We are back on a bank and you join us today on a mega big public reservoir. It's surrounded by a lush big fern forest and some lovely mega trees around it. It's a really nice neck of the woods, and yeah, we've come up for an evening session to try and put a few fish on a bank. We've also going to announce the giveaway winner for the bobbins that we were giving away a few videos ago, and hopefully we're going to catch a few fish, mate.
Yeah, hopefully our bobbins are going to be bouncing, and yeah, be the same ones that you might hopefully be winning. But this lake's called Shearwater. It's got some publicity recent since sort of reopening. It was shut for a little while, been reopened for what, a couple of years?
Yeah, a couple of years.
A couple of years or so. It is a brilliant place to come down and hopefully get a couple of bites, and that is the plan tonight. Come down, stick a few fish in a video, absolutely haul the hell out of it, and yeah, go home later on a happy couple of anglers.
That's the job. Yeah, that's
our
the
job.
plan of action anyway. So let's get the caravan, let's get some rods in, let's get some bait out there, and let's start hauling.
Get on with it.
Come on.
Let's go.
First rod going out, you might be able to see I'm using something different today. I'm actually using it inline, and the reason for that is I don't in any way need to lose a lead on here, so I've decided to use inline instead of the leg clips. So I've got a 3-ounce inline, and I've got a naked anti-tangle rubber on the back of that, tail rubber. That obviously just keeps it nice and streamlined on the back end, and then I've got a tungsten anti-tangle sleeve on the front just to stop it tangling, but just pushes the rig away. 3-ounce inline. And then I've got my normal Ronnie section with a Ronnie on there, and that is for a pop-up. I've got a 15 miller balanced out with a 0.35 gram weight. That sinks lovely and slowly and balances really well. I'm going to just move that little shot, the little counterweight in the middle bit further back, just to help that rig sink nice and softly down to the deck. Got a 9-foot 2.75 pound rods, 0.35 main line. And I'm going to send it out without hopefully hooking Hugh behind me, who's actually wrapping up at the moment. God, I went out flying. I'm just putting a few spods out there. I've got a load of 18 mil. I've got about 2 kilo of 18 millers. I'm probably just going to lob half of this out straight away, as experience does tell us that the fish in here are bait fish. There's a lot of them in here. They are hungry, and sometimes the more bait you can get in, the more productive it can be. So I am literally just, oh, one's just boshed just over the back of that bait. That's a good sign. Right, second rod going out then. This one's on orange. The one that's already out was on a yellow. Exactly the same rig.
Right then, so here's the bait I'm using. So I've got some 18 mil S7, 15 mil bug, and some dumbbells and S7 as well, obviously all from DNA. And then I had that soaking in a bit of water, just boiled water to soften them up, and I had some of the S7 spod hydro syrup in that water, so it's, yeah, oozing all of that goodness in with the bait as they're defrosting, absorbing all the goodness. Oh, there we go, that didn't take very long then. I've literally just put the spod rod down, turned the camera off, and basically turn it straight back on and hit record. Now I've got to try and make sure I don't wipe myself out, Shaun out, and end up with a multi-rog mess. But after what, probably 15 minutes of fishing and about 2 minutes of having bait out there, it's not a bad little turn up for the books. I wonder if I got the resident catfish. Oh, blimey. Sure what is going on here, mate. Something doesn't seem right. I might need your help in a minute. Yeah, because it's right down the margin. I'm just wondering if it's picked up them lads next door saying it feels like someone's pulling on the other side of it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, it is. Yeah. You're gonna have to ease off. I can see your rig caught on mine. I'm not going to be able to net it otherwise. Can you come net this fish, mate? No, it's alright, I can see your rig hanging off.
Blew off.
Yeah, I think it's my fish, mate.
Your fish?
Yeah, I can see it's...
Oh.
And that's your rig, I imagine. No, you're alright.
Sorry.
Ah, don't worry, mate, you don't need to apologise, it's all good. We were playing a tug of war, basically. Yeah, you might want to get it out of that before
It's just caught up in that bit of bush there. Go. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Alright. Right then, well there's a little character that caused all of that carnage, and just to explain it, basically I've had a run on my left hand rod. It hasn't really sort of kited left, but I've managed to pick up the bloke who's fishing further up the bank, and yeah, that is just day ticket carping. So yeah, it's a little bit of a nightmare. He's obviously had a little bit of a war wound at some point on the tail, and he's got a few stories to tell, but we're going to slip him back, get the rod back out and see if we can have another one. Happy days, we're off the mark. Right then, so we've just slipped that fish back, and I thought I'd just explain a little bit more where I was fishing and what the plan of action is. So I was fishing just towards this sort of boathouse just over my left shoulder, or just to the right of it, shall I say, which is kind of directly out in front of me, but because of the angle of the bank, the people up to the left are obviously fishing to their right, and quite clearly it was too close for comfort. So what I've decided to do, thankfully Shaun's sort of fishing to his right, which means I've got a bit of water in between us, so I'm fishing quite a little bit further right now, sort of, yeah, just to make sure we've got plenty of space between me and the people further up the bank. There's no one to our right, so hopefully now we'll have no further problems. We've got the rods back out there, fingers crossed we can have another one. Right then, well, we've just moved the spot from here to here, because as you might have seen, depending on how the footage comes out, in that first fish I picked up the bloke's fishing a little way down the bank. Now the question is, Shaun's just setting up another net for me, but do I let him have the next bite? Because it was his birthday this week, and we're meant to come out so he could catch a few fish, and well, he's blanking at the moment, you know. Should I let him have the next one?
You got a carp?
I have a carp.
I got the biggest net I could find.
Carp. Yeah. You got that 42 inches there.
46.
46.
Yeah. Obviously for the old Euro carp.
Whoa.
You know, I thought big pit, you know, big res, big public res. Sounds a bit Euro-like.
Wily carp.
Yeah. Probably could do a wade night for this.
That's deep.
Oh, he's in. Yes. Get in that net.
Right then, well this little cricketback common has come within minutes of casting to the sort of new area or the different spot, and as I've just mentioned, don't get disheartened. That is day ticket carping at the end of the day, and bites can come within minutes of obviously re-chucking to a different area. So slip this one back, and as I've just mentioned, it's going to be Shaun's turn on the rod now after it was his birthday. So yeah, if my rods go rattling off next, it'll be Shaun's turn to pick one up and finally be playing a fish. He needs to start doing something other than working the camera. Thank you very much.
Shaun! Nope, need one. Woo! Well, I've just caught the absolute monster of the deep. Was not expecting this, but I've just got myself a catfish. Not the intended quarry, but there are a few in here and they are growing very big. To be honest, this is actually one of the smaller ones from what I've heard, but was not expecting and put up a wicked scrap on the light gear. So we'll get this one out, have a look at her, and yeah, maybe I catch a carp. Right, there we go then. Not the intended quarry, but I've got one of the monsters of the deep, one of the old slugs. They do grow pretty big in here, and I'm not surprised he's come along, mopped up those 18 millers and nailed my hook bait on the Roddy. But I'm happy to catch one. I do actually really like them, although people aren't too fond of them. I do quite like an old catfish myself, so happy with that. And nice to have had a bite. So let's get this one home and let's see if we can get a carp on the score sheet for myself. Happy days! Well, I've just slipped that catfish back, not the intended quarry, but wicked fun, and I actually caught that fish on my 9-foot 2.75 pound test curve rod. So light gear, it is the kind of stuff that I use on local small venues when I'm sort of underarming or fishing at sort of shorter ranges. And yeah, it just shows you do not need big rods to fish on big venues. So Hugh has also got his compact set up with him today, and we just wanted to show you guys that you can get away with fishing these venues, fishing at closer ranges nice and accurately, and putting in a good food source, and the fish will come to it if they're hungry. So you don't have to fish with big long rods like 12-13 foot sticks, like 3.5 pound test curve. You can get away with using lighter rods, smaller rods, shorter rods, and actually enjoy it and make the sort of fishing a lot more fun and a lot more interesting. And if you've only got one set of rods and you fish small waters and you're a bit daunted by coming to a venue like this, you can still target them. We're fishing at about 60 yards range today, which is very comfortable for the short gear, and spodding out as well over the top of that with a 10-foot spod rod. And yeah, really nice and simple, and we're catching a few fish. So there you go. Hopefully, if you've got a compact set up and you're a bit daunted by these kind of waters, that will give you a bit of a motivation to get on here and try one of these bigger lakes and just give it a go, because you can still catch fish in a bit more comfortable ranges. So get on it, catch yourself a few fish. That'll be a bite, mate. That's a very steady big fish bite, huh? It doesn't feel very big, though. Feels like a bream, doesn't it? This is swimming at me. Oh, it might have been swimming at me. Whee! Double take! Hugh's away. Woo! Burn and drag. Oh no! Right, well, we just had a double take. Unfortunately, my fish dropped off. It was putting up a very good account for itself, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Hugh has got his on still though, and hopefully this one's going to go in the net. So I'm still carpless at the moment. Hugh seems to be doing well on the carp front. I've just had the one catfish, but it's been a nice, enjoyable few hours so far. So the light is just starting to go now, so we haven't got a huge amount of time left, but the fish are still clearly on it, and it's been quite enjoyable. But I thought I'd just sort of give you an idea of what we're doing. So we're both fishing at exactly the same distance. We're using the same wrap sticks in the same swim. One of us is going slightly left, one of us is going slightly right, and we are literally spodding at 20 wraps, but only 10-foot wrap sticks. So it's about 66 yards, I think it works out to be. So not very far out. And yeah, we're both spodding out the same mix of bait, so it's pretty much just a mix of boilie from DNA, so some DNA S7 and bug in a few different sizes. and we're just spodding that all out there, putting out quite a few spods just to keep the fish rooting around, as they are very hungry fish in here, and just keeping it going in little and often. And it seems to be doing the job. And Hugh is just putting, I think that's number 3 or 4 into the net. There she is, happy days. Tactics working wonders. Another fish on the score sheet. Right, well, little change of tactics. So same rig, but I switched it over so I can use my bottom bait setup, which is essentially a running ring on the hook instead of a ring swivel, and then a length of braid which I attach a bottom bait to. That gives it the separation so that the fish can pick it up and eject it, or blow back, or it turns over, or whatever they do with it. But it definitely turns, as you can see, and absolutely nails them. So I'm going to get that back out. Hugh is currently having a wrestle with a carp in the net down there in my waders. But I'm going to get this one out while he's doing that, and we'll get that fish out, have a look at it, and hopefully by the time that's done, this rod will be rattling off. Out she goes. That missed a clip, perfect.
Keeping it real on this channel.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Oh, it does. Trying to be too quick, that is. Rushing. What we found a lot while filming as well is when you start to rush, everything starts to go wrong. So just keep it at a steady pace, and normally it goes a lot better. So we slow it down a bit, line her up. Boom! Straight on the clip. Nice. Alarm on. Job's a good one. I've literally just taken one mouthful of my wrap, and the rod has just cast out its gun again. Yep. They're swimming at me. What's going on here? That can't be a bream on an 18 miller. Have I just got a bream on an 18 miller? Nice one. Send her out. Starting to rain. Well, I just had that bream. I was wrapping up my rod, and my other rod's just gone off. So Hugh's picked that one up. Absolute poacher over there. Still haven't had my wrap.
I'll wrap that.
I'm still hungry.
Come and play this fish.
Hang on, I'm nearly done.
It'll be in a minute.
Oh.
He's gone out. You make sure you don't drop one off.
Yeah. Well, if this one drops off, I'm just going to blame it on you. You bit the rod up.
I didn't nearly get stuck down a margin or nothing. No.
It's not doing a lot, it's just bouncing around. Feels like
I was saying you better hurry up.
feels like a massive bream at the moment. Go on then, salmon scooper. Salmon scooper. Go on, Gilly. Good. Oh, Hugh's in, his alarming on.
Oh yeah.
Hugh's rod's now away, so that one's just gone off. So we've just lost one. I've got one in that net. Now Hugh's rod's going. Right, so I've got my 2 rods back out. I've got a fish in there. That is a carp, a little common. So I've had a catfish, I've lost a carp, and I've got that one in there. Hugh has got another one down there. I think that's number 4 or 5, and then he's got one on there. So I'm not quite sure how many he's had. It's either 4 or 5, I think, now, in a short session. So we've had a good bit of action, and yeah, the fish are getting on that bait. Absolutely loving the DNA bug and S7 combo. Ooh, she's in the nets. There we go, happy days. Yeah, all right, mate?
Yeah, it's that one.
Better one? It's all like bites on here, so not really worried about the size. Just nice and fun, having a few rattlers, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Good.
You're on edge.
Better get them sorted out, haven't we?
I think so.
Right, I finally got my wrap. Hugh's Hugh's got a fish in there, probably is a 20-pounder to be honest. And his other rod's gone rattling off. So I have actually managed to get mine back out. But Hugh was having a bit of a sesh. He's definitely doing a bit of hauling today. As on a short session, I think that's going to be, might be number 6 now. But yeah, that's probably a 20-pounder, I reckon, that one. But we really need to get these fish sorted because we've got one over there, got 2 down there, and we haven't got another net now. So hopefully this is a little one and we can just slip it back. Happy days.
Right then, well, we've got absolute carnage in the swim here, and so I've stuck Shaun's waders on, mainly because he can't get into mine. And yeah, I'm just going to show you Shaun's fish. So this is his little one. It's got him on the score sheet. Nice for him to catch a carp in his birthday week, and yeah, happy days. So should we slip this one back, mate?
Get him back.
He's saying get it back. So there we go then. Thank you very much for making his day. I've got 2 more in the nets over here. I've just dropped one off as well. But yeah, going to slip one back as well, and then we'll get one out because it's considerably larger. So happy days.
Right, well, Hugh was just going to get his better one out, which looks to be quite a nice 20-pound plus common. And we were just about to sort it out, and my rod has ripped off. Hugh has got no rods in the water. This was my last rod in the water. And, oh, putting up a bit of an account for himself. Yeah, it's been absolute carnage, to be honest. We were debating coming up here because it's a bit of a drive for such a short session. But with the weather the way it is, overcast, wet and really mild, it looks so good for some bites. We thought, why not give it a go? And it was definitely a good decision because they've responded really well to putting that bait out. Fishing nice comfortable range, simple boilie tactics, just spodding out some grub little and often, and yeah, they're really on it. So hopefully I'll get this one in. Drags a little bit loose there, let's tighten that up a bit. Hugh's just sorting out his common on the mat, in case you wonder what that noise is. We're actually going to give it a bit of a weigh. We probably haven't weighed a fish in here for a long time, but it is quite a thick set common, so we thought it'd be interesting to see actually how big it is. So he is just going to give it a little bit of a weigh while I'm playing this one out. And I'll have to try and find myself a net. We've got about 4 nets dotted around at the moment. Q is on the net. Boom! She's in. Right, that's carp number 2 in the net for me and on the bank. I've had a few bites, unfortunately dropped them off, but yeah, carp number 2 and happy days. Yeah, been really fun. Plenty of bites. There's been a lot more action going on Hugh's half of the swim, but it's been still really enjoyable and we're having a wicked session. So I'm going to slip this one back. Hugh has got a wicked common, which we're going to get out now and have a look at. And that'll probably round off the session nicely, that one. So anyway, yeah, let's get this one back and let's have a look at the one Hugh's got.
Right then, we'll check that one out. What an absolutely cracking fish to top off a hectic, manic, wicked session. We've probably only been fishing for about 3 hours or so. And yeah, to top it off with this 26-pound common, probably one of the better stamping here. Yeah, absolutely mega. And another bug and S7 munching machine. So let's slip this one back. The session is drawing to an end. I'm not sure whether there'll be time for one more, but yeah, what a wicked fish to finish on. Get in there.
Good! Nice fish, mate, well done.
Cheers.
Right, well, this is what it looks like when you've had an absolute carve up of a session. No rods left on the pod. Wet and hooking mats, cameras, spod rods chucked over there, nets up in there. We got a retainer sling here. Over here we got no rods out in the pond. They've all been done, all had fish. Nets over there. Rods just lent up against the brolly. It's been an absolute session and a half, and all in about 3 or 4 hours, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, absolute carve up. So 2 happy anglers who very much enjoyed their time on the bank, and that is what it's all about.
Right, well, that's my last fish in there. It is another little common. Might make scraper double maybe, but anyway, we'll let her go. Go on, off you go. There she goes. What a session.
Right then, so you can probably tell we've completely lost the light, and those 3-4 hours of fishing are absolutely flown by, and yeah, we've come to the end of the session, and what an absolute wicked one it's been, mate.
It's been absolute carnage at times. Literally all the nets were full. We were having to get spare nets out the van. Really thick and fast action, and yeah, we've absolutely loved it. It's nice to have a really sort of busy session, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, exactly what we wanted. So
and guess what?
What?
We need to announce the winner for the competition.
We do indeed.
So on that note, we did a competition a few videos back where you could win a set of the ProLogic MIDI bobbins. You could win a set of 3 in whatever colour you fancied, and all you had to do was answer the question, which was how big was Hugh's winning fish that won the YouTube Bloggers Match 2024, and it was
£28.
It was indeed, and you also had to be subscribed to the channel. Now, we've used a random generator to pick a winner. We've already got one, and that is Colin Wheeler 9999. He said Hugh's fish was £28.5. White bobbins would be my choice. Taking it old school. Nice.
Yeah, nice, good choice.
So there you go, mate. Get in touch with us. Colin Wheeler 9999. Drop us your details and we'll get those whisking to your door.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be announcing a new competition for the next month in next week's video. So make sure you don't miss that one. So I guess until next week, get out there, enjoy your fishing. Make sure you're following us on all the social media shown at the bottom of the screen. And most importantly, enjoy your fishing.
Definitely. Get out there, enjoy it. See you next Tuesday at 6:30.
Come on, let's get on the road.
Let's go home, mate.
You've got to drive.